Welcome to Football for Fun. Please hit the subscribe button below the video so that you can support the channel and we can crank out more content. Now, enjoy the show.
All right. Well, moving on, we're going to talk about the rest of the free agency, and we're kind of going to go by position. And so we'll start with the running backs. Now, I guess before we go into free agency, there will be a lot of names that we leave out. I mean, a lot of stuff happened in free agency. So if, like, you have a favorite team or a favorite player that we didn't get to, then I apologize. We can always address it at some point, like in the off season or later or whatnot. I mean, that's why we have Q&A. You can literally ask whatever you want, as long as it's appropriate.
Or yell at
and,
us
like,
in the comments.
emotionally.
We can handle the yelling.
Honestly, any amount of engagement we get at this point is worth it.
Hey, don't make us sound
definitely.
desperate.
All
Jeez,
right.
man.
Well, yeah, our retention has probably gone down at this point anyway, so
Shh, don't tell them that.
All right, so
Ignore that, YouTube.
the biggest story as far as the running backs go probably is that Ezekiel Elliott got released, which in itself I actually don't think it's a big deal. You know, he's getting older. The Cowboys are saving, I believe, $7 million by releasing Ezekiel Elliott. They have Tony Pollard, who knows they could draft Bijan Robinson if he falls to them. But
yeah, cutting him was the right choice for sure. For sure.
It's just a big deal, I guess, because he's been a cornerstone for the Cowboys franchise. You know, he was there when Dak got drafted, and
he's been there a solid 7 years now.
Yeah, that's crazy, and like just crazy how short a running back shelf life is. Because you think like Dak, he has like so many years left, but like Zeke, he's like on the tail.
He's probably done at this point.
Yeah, I mean he's probably like I think he'll be employed this season.
But yeah, plenty of teams need a good center out there.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, definitely. But he's not gonna be like the guy on like any team. Like he'll like we talked about with Henry, I think a little bit. Now Henry's much better, but like it's probably gonna be like a 1-2 punch situation. Like for all we know, he could go to Houston and like just be there with Damian.
That could be interesting. Yeah.
Take some of the load, yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be the guy. He's going to go be 1-2 combo for sure. Right. If I were him, I'd go to San Francisco because that's where you want to go if you're a quarterback or a running back. Basically, the perfect system for you.
Definitely, yeah. I think San Francisco makes a lot of sense. I feel like he probably would want to go somewhere where he can win.
If you can't beat him, join him, right?
What's that?
I said if you can't beat him, join him.
Right, definitely. Yeah, true. So yeah, maybe Houston doesn't make sense. I also don't know if I would want to pay him that much money.
Oh, no. Nobody should line up to pay him that much. Especially based on the running back market right now. Like, Miles Sanders, he's only getting like $6.5 million a year, and he was a Pro Bowler last season. So, Zeke should not get anywhere near that.
Now, when is Buffalo going to get clarity on their running game? I feel like every time a running back's potentially available, we say Buffalo, but
that's a good question. I think they believe in James Cook. I think maybe they roll with him at RB1. And they're figuring out what to do with Devin Singletary. Wouldn't be surprised if they let him go. And we have to monitor the statuses of like Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry.
Who's James Cook? I'm joking. I kind of know who he is.
Come on, man.
Yeah, isn't it like is Devin Singletary still on the team?
He's a free agent right now. I don't expect them to bring him back, but who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
I feel like the Bills would need to make a splash in the running game, which I wouldn't say for most teams. I think most teams, they could draft someone or just kind of take it low budget, I guess. But I feel like the Bills, because that's really what they're lacking.
If I'm Buffalo, I'm getting Derrick Henry. Henry. You need a hard runner like him.
Get Zeke.
I wouldn't want Zeke if I'm Buffalo.
Why not?
He hasn't got it anymore. He ran it for Dallas, and his backup was far better than him.
I mean, Zeke is probably better than what they have. I guess it depends on the price point as well. Because if he's demanding a lot of money, then
if they want to do like a running back by committee there, then you can get Zeke and you can keep Singletary, you can keep James Cook. Maybe then, but I would aim high if you're trying to get a good running game going because they've had running backs who are good, just nobody who they can rely on.
Right.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
going to go get Derrick Henry. You can rely on him in the running game. And plus, it's
I
like
think
that. You don't have to have Josh Allen run it on like third and short, fourth and short, the QB sneak or
yeah,
whatever.
I think the correct technical decision is they just need to draft someone. I mean, regardless, even if they get like another running back off the streets or whatnot, which like, and I mean, B. John Robinson's a conversation. Even if not him, like draft someone in the
I'm not so
second
sure
or.
he's going to be there anymore now that the Chargers need a running back.
Do you think the Chargers would use their first round pick on a running back?
I think there's a good chance if they're going to keep both their starting receivers. I don't think they go tight end in the first round because that is such a deep tight end class that they could get tight end in the second round. So wouldn't be surprised if they went running back.
Where do the Chargers pick?
It's pretty early. I think it's pick 20, 22, 23, somewhere in that range.
21. Yeah, they picked 21 because Miami
Right,
forfeited
right,
their
right,
pick.
right. Yeah, I was thinking 21, then I was thinking, wait, that's where Miami picks, so we go back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
all right.
Yes, I'm not sure. And I mean, so I always mention you're the draft expert in the house, but like I feel like I have a little bit of a hard time even believing that B John's gonna survive in the first round. Like, I just feel like teams have learned their lesson to like,
Oh, he's
be
going first
very
round. He's too talented to fall out of the first round.
all right.
Somebody's gonna get him.
Yeah, well, you heard it there. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if I'm a team, because even a very talented I guess like the best case scenario is you have Derrick Henry. And how long has he been good?
Well, he's
I think
29 now, so been
yeah, I
about
think
7
Derrick was
years.
interesting because he had a couple years like his rookie and sophomore year where he was like productive but not the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he had okay, in 2018 he was the 1,000 yard rusher. Then at 1,500, 2,000. He was injured in
About
21.
5 years, 4 years.
Okay, that's crazy. And I know this has been talked about before, but in 2021, he only played 8 games and he rushed for 900 yards. That's just nuts. So right, so he's had 4 good years, and we're talking about like trading him now, like at like for a 6 round pick or something like that. So like,
Hopefully not that. No.
yeah, so like with Bijan, like if I'm a team, like do I want to invest a first round pick in a running back who might have like 4 or 5 good years? Like I'm just not sure I would do
I
it.
mean, if I'm a team that has a mostly complete roster and I don't have a good running back, then I'd go for it. I'd draft him there. I mean, he's talented enough. He can come in and produce immediately. He's got that talent.
Yeah, I guess we'll see.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
not like I really know. I know what I would do. I
no,
know
like I mean,
who might draft him.
I'm not claiming that I've like watched a lot of like Bijan. I'm sure he's very talented from what I hear, but like it's like I'm no scout, so I guess we'll just see what happens. But yeah, so as far as like running backs go, Ezekiel Elliott was released. Miles Sanders has joined the Carolina Panthers. So
That was a W move. Got him cheap. 4
yep,
years, like 25 million, something like that. Like not much. Like 6.5 million per year. That's a steal for a guy who had like 1,300 yards from scrimmage last season, 1,200 rushing yards, Pro Bowler.
there
I
we
don't know
go.
how we got him that cheap.
You heard it from the man.
I'm not biased
Miles
or anything.
Sanders, definitely.
Yo, for real though, if we made a move I didn't like, I would be very vocal about it. I'm
Oh no,
just
yeah,
saying.
you've been that way before. It's like
You've seen
it's
me
not like
rant. You've seen me rant.
oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And it's not like you're a fan of a team. You're not always gonna act like they're gonna go 17-0 every season. Like you have some level of rationale, but
Some level. It's
definitely
less than I would have with other teams, but there is still some rationale.
right for sure.
But we are winning the Super Bowl next season. Just saying. Just
Definitely.
saying.
Jamaal Williams, who scored like 100 touchdowns on the Detroit Lions, is on the Saints as a division rival.
Yeah, he didn't get
Yeah.
paid enough. I thought he was going to get paid more than he got.
Yeah. Isn't Jamaal Williams a little older? Am I mistaken?
He's fairly old. I don't know how old he is.
27?
Sounds right.
Yeah. I guess it's interesting. He
I
was
think
on the
he's kind of getting
Packers.
overhyped by everybody just because of his 88 1 yard line touchdowns last season.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah. Because overall, I mean, he was a 1,000 yard rusher. That's pretty good.
That is good. That is good.
4.1 yards per carry. That's not bad, but like, yeah, it does seem like a lot of his like runs were like goal line runs. So like, I don't really think you can take too much from it. I mean,
Yeah, he had
yeah,
a good season for sure. Don't get me wrong.
no, yeah, he's like a productive running back. But you know, I guess he's splitting carries. I guess we don't know about Alvin Kamara's status though. You think he's going to jail,
I
right?
do. I think he's gonna serve some time.
Is that biased as a
No, no
Packers
bias. Like
fan?
I actually think he's gonna.
Okay.
Or I think he should. I guess I also thought Deshaun Watson should have been in jail for a while, but
Yeah.
it's not
Hmm.
necessarily how it works when you're a highly paid and skilled athlete.
True. Yeah. I Jalen Carter is like not going to jail, right? I think there was
No, no,
something
no.
that
Just
came out that like he
probation, I
has to serve
think.
like he needs like community service and like pay a fine or something like that, but like he's not going to jail. So
Yeah, we'll have to see if
good
that
for
will
him, I
affect his
guess.
draft status or not.
Yeah.
He's gonna
But
fall all the way to Chicago just so people can keep saying that they fleeced us.
right. Definitely. Yeah, and David Montgomery to the Lions,
I don't
he was
like
on the
that move for
Bears.
the Lions.
Why not?
It doesn't feel right. I don't know. I mean, considering Jamal Williams, what he went for, I think they're better off keeping him around if they could. I think David
Yeah,
Montgomery required more money, and they have DeAndre Swift in the backfield. Like that just feels like an odd combo to me. David Montgomery and DeAndre
I
Swift.
got you.
So
Yeah, Montgomery. Yeah, I guess the thing with Montgomery is he's a little younger, so maybe they just see more upside with him. Like,
yeah,
if Jamal Williams can score 17 1 yard goal line touchdowns, maybe David Montgomery could be much more productive.
no, I mean
But
I like Montgomery. I wanted him here in Carolina actually. Like if we didn't get Sanders, he would have been
yeah,
my second choice. But just feels like a
right.
weird signing for the Lions personally.
I got you. Maybe it's the whole division rival thing. Like, I know a lot of players are just signing with division rivals, like, not even necessarily out of spite or anything. But I think it's like, you could like give insights to your team because, like, if you're like, you're David Montgomery and you were on the Bears and you're going to the Lions, there are 6 games where the Lions can pick your brain on, like, what's it like to play against the Packers, the Lions, the Vikings. So, like, I think there's like,
Yeah, there's
I
got to
think
be
that's
some
why
good
like
value in that.
right. I think that's why like Robert Woods went to Houston. Like we can give he can give us some insight on like what it's like to play against the corners of like the other teams. So
Mm.
there's some value there. I agree, but interesting stuff.